Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday night. Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, and I'm so glad you guys can be here. We're going to have a lot of great topics to talk about tonight. And I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. We are doing great things here on the channel, and I hope you are along for the ride. I am super proud of the Godzilla show that we're doing, and I do want to talk about it for a few seconds. So I'm going to start the show off with that. We've been, since the beginning, the first week of January, watching Godzilla films. Sir Sturdy has joined in. Trevor Stottlemyre from Ambassador Radio and Media has joined in. And every week we've been watching two or three Godzilla films all the way through and kind of reviewing them, going over the history of them, talking about them. And we have about 4 weeks left. We've done about 12 episodes, and it's been a ton of fun. And I realized today that I have officially watched every Godzilla film ever made, except for the new one that's coming out that I'm going to get to check out this Thursday. So I'm super excited for it. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you're going to go check it out in the comments, we will be reviewing it next week. So make sure to talk about that there. We're also going to be reviewing tonight Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and we're going to be talking Roadhouse. So make sure fill us in if you saw them. Sound off in the comments, whether you're watching this later, listen to it later, or listen to it now. We'd love to hear it, or come over on the Discord and talk about it with us. I want to thank Shopify, our sponsor of tonight's episode. Links down below, but we'll get into that more later. I have a great partner that's waiting in the green room. He's handling all the controls. That's why we call him Producer Paul. And he lets me jump on here for a few minutes and talk, but I'm going to bring him on, and we're going to get into some of these topics. What say you? Producer Paul, care to join me, sir?
Absolutely, Mick. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Oh, well, dude, I am super excited to get into some topics tonight.
Heck yeah.
How about you, man? I actually threw a little extra your way that I probably didn't fill you in on, but you know how my mind sort of wanders sometimes.
Absolutely, that's perfect. It makes it more fun and more authentic for everybody, so I have no complaints.
Well, I was sitting in the lab earlier with Sturdy, and you know me, my mind just goes, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna just roll with this, see what happens, and we'll talk about it a bit. So we talked about, well, let's see what Jason says. Jason's here. What's up, Jason? Thanks for joining in, bud. Ricky Stanicki was hilarious. No, it wasn't. Good evening. How is everyone today? We're doing all right, buddy. I'm sorry that you had to lie to everybody tonight, but thank you for joining. I cannot.
I'm so mad.
Do it. The fact that they, oh my God. There's no redeemable. The only redeemable thing about that movie is John Cena. He's the only redeemable thing. Thank God for John Cena. And not that all the other actors in the movie, I like them all. Zac Efron, Andrew San Martino, everybody was in the movie. It was fantastic,
right?
But the movie was shit. Okay, John Cena.
Sure.
John Cena's a treasure. He's a fucking treasure. And I'm so tired of The Rock being put above him, because John Cena's got range. Now Batista, whole other level. But John Cena in that movie. Now I'm promoting the goddamn movie.
Yep. That's why guys should go watch it. It's so thought-provoking. It'll make you think. It'll make you wonder if it's good or not. It is good.
Oh my God.
Decide correctly. So
okay.
Do yourself a favor.
Go see it. Abridged version of this stupid movie. These three guys are horrible to their partners and everybody in their lives, and make up this horrendous lies to get out of doing really important stuff with their friends and family that love them. And then it's okay because his dad beat him, but we could just play that card. They don't allude to that. This isn't a build-up.
Right.
It's just at one point in the movie when you realize these guys are shitbags. They go, I knew your dad used to beat you. And it's like, oh, that's where, okay.
And if you guys were ever wondering what it's like to have an imaginary friend that you could blame everything on, that your parents would believe, you don't need to wonder anymore. You can just watch this glorious movie, have a good laugh, and know exactly what it would be like.
No, go. You know what, Paul? I'm going to do you one better. Do not go watch Ricky Stenicki. Go watch The Stupids.
Even better.
Oh, boom. There you go, Paul. Did I do better?
Yep.
Did I do better for you? Okay.
Yeah.
Does that get the Paul approval?
That gets some Paul approval.
All right. We are talking. Well, I'm not saying it. Go watch The Stupids. What about Jesse Ventura? He's a sexual tyrannosaur. He is. John Cena is way better than The Rock. Cena plays that into the ridiculous 1,000% comedy. Yeah, but his range is only comedy. That's the thing.
That is true.
I saw The Independent. His range is comedy. John Cena's all the movie needs. All this movie needs. Laugh Loud is funny. Mick was the one that made me want to see it.
Stupids, Jason.
Jason, no, I still say hate The Stupids.
No, The Stupids is gret. I get to meet Tom Arnold this summer. So hyped.
I can't wait to meet Tom Arnold and say, Tom, I like you a lot, man. I can't take The Stupids.
I'm going to walk past his table every day and just be singing I'm My Own Grandpa until he starts singing along back.
Oh my God.
That is my goal. All of
He'll sing it. He'll sing it. If we interview him, there's no way he won't sing that.
Yep.
It has to happen.
I'll reach for gum under the table. I'll be like, in the name of the Lloyd, like I'm fucking live it up.
Although if we make that happen, that's going on the Patreon. That's a private experience for you guys.
There you go. It's a fan experience. It's a Patreon.
That's our cameo experience. Well, you can come on down to Carolina Fear Fest. They have Tom Arnold will be there. It's gonna be a great time. We'll be hanging out. So let's get into the first topic, dude. Okay. So I'm gonna start here because this could be long or short. It doesn't matter, but it kind of plays off of last week's topic. But it bookends really well with all the topic theme tonight. All right. So we were talking last week about Quiet on Set and the monsters in Hollywood and sort of how that plays out. So I was talking the other day with someone, and it kind of played into this. It was like, so we often see in many court cases, there's character witnesses, right?
Right.
How are we not for instances like this? So, like, let's take the Dan Snyder, right? Let's say there's a court, and this is all hypothetical. I'm putting it out there now on this podcast. This is hypothetical. I'm not saying Dan Snyder committed any crimes that he needs to go do this for. This is, again, hypothetical. Let's say he's on trial for something, and I'm using him as an example. I don't want to get sued. So my thing is, like, you can call in how many people to be character witnesses for and against.
Right.
How can you not use his body of work as a character sort of witness? And what I mean by that is, so many of these monsters in Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein and things like that, like and again, I'm not comparing the Dan Snyder to Harvey Weinstein. I'm saying these monsters like Harvey Weinstein and people like him, R. Kelly, stuff like that. It's in their body of work, they talk and discuss. This isn't how you treat women. This isn't how you do things. Like, there's wholesomeness to their bodies of work.
Right.
You know, so especially like TV writers, like with the Dan Snyder, I'm using him in particular. Like, we're saying, like, a lot of it is like over sexualization or like how to not treat people on set, like domineering, stuff like that. Right. So a lot of that is about bullying. Well, how many of his shows were anti-bullying?
Right.
So you clearly know when you're making these shows that this is wrong. This behavior is wrong.
Right.
So how are you apologizing for it now and saying you didn't know?
I guess what you're saying.
So like that's what I'm posing to you. I guess.
Right.
I'm sorry it took so long, but I really wanted to make sure my point was there.
I think a lot of that, it's just not surface deep, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, we're all guilty of our own things, but I think a lot of people deal with guilt and shame in different ways. And someone could be in denial about it. Be like, oh no, I'm doing this wholesome thing. I'm actually not doing this. This is what's right. And I think it should be used to show, like, obviously they know this is, like you said, this is what you shouldn't be doing. This is what you're actually doing. So I think it should. But I think with that, though, if they try to use it on the opposite end, it's just like Gacy. Like, Gacy was great, played with Kit, you know, all these things, but he was awful. So at the same time, just your works don't always speak to what you're actually doing. So I feel like it's not fair to use it on one side when if they used it on other, doesn't really hold the water, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess my thing is like when it ultimately comes down to it is like, well, I never knew it was wrong or this, that, and the other thing. It's like, well, you clearly did. You were sending messages for so long to the public of what was right, what was wrong. Like this is being driven, and this is a formula you've been saying. So like, and that was ultimately my whole point to this was just like we often get in our artwork. And it's overutilized in so many, especially sitcoms and stuff like that. And you hear how many of those are just like, behind the scenes. It was like monsters, especially towards women or people of color. It's so much. And then, but on screen, it's like, oh yeah, no, let's talk about racism in this episode. It's like,
now
it's like what the actor they got for that episode was treated like shit.
True. Since we're talking hypothetical, since we're talking about Dan Schneider, was he the writer of all the scripts, or was he just the director?
Well, he was the head writer. He ran.
He was writer,
producer. He was a showrunner, so he oversaw everything. He knew what was going on, and he was on set all the time.
Because devil's advocate for a second, once again, not saying he's guilty or innocent or anything like that, but that changes the dynamic of the evidence because he wrote it. It's not he was just given a script and he had to talk about anti-bullying, any of those things. And so never mind.
Oh no. No, guys like him, like most of those showrunner stuff, they know what they're making.
Yeah.
And then they know what formula works, what they're trying to sell. It's just that's why when you get those interviews and stuff, like, well, I didn't realize, and I owe people apologies because I didn't know. And it's like, yes, you fucking did, because there's 20 years of your work showing where your actors are playing out these roles of like dealing with like bullies that are treating them the same way you're being accused of treating your actors or people on your on your sets. Like, so you did know, like, or you're too dense to get the fucking message. Like, and then you should just give your money back, because clearly if you're making that much money and you don't understand the product you're making, holy fuck. Don't put them in charge of the fucking rat poison / cereal company. Ugh. All right. Next up. I'm going to segue hard out of that one. Do you care if movie theaters die? I know you do.
I do. I don't want them to die. Do I think it'd be nice if, so there's probably, we'll say 8 theaters, probably within 20 miles. I would gladly trade in all of those for one actual theater experience. Like one, like just a marvelous looking one, where everyone stayed quiet, where everything was high quality. I trade in the quality for all the theaters. So to an extent, I think some theaters should go away so that there just be one that's a designated one to go to. But at the same time, I just love going to the movies, period. So yeah, that's tough.
And it's funny because, and the reason I bring this up is because IndieWire is reporting recently that 66% of American adults have chosen streaming platforms, like Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, over movie houses.
Right.
They're taking different data. 30% of those, though, of the respondents said that they only watch movies in theaters several times a year. Gotcha. So maybe 10, 15 times.
Jesus.
So, which to you and me, that's not a lot.
That's I watched 4 this weekend. So
to your average household, that is a lot. That's a lot. Right. I would venture to guess an average American household goes to the movie theater 4 times a year.
Jesus, that's just insane to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I will tell you, even in my house growing up, my parents went to the movies 4 times.
Okay. I could see that. See, we didn't growing up. I didn't go to movies that much till like high school, but yeah, no, I feel that
the entirety of my life, the 4 times, like that, they just weren't into it. So like that was like they watched movies, but like they just weren't in a movie theater. Like me, I loved it. So like I was really into it. So like I guess with this type of data coming back and what we're seeing, and after a big decline, like I don't want to see movie theaters go away. I agree.
Yeah,
I do want to see movie theaters maybe either I don't want to say condense, but something's got to change. And I'm
Yes.
thinking it's more so the chains.
Yeah.
Not the indie houses, like more so the chains. And you got to make it worth people's while to come out. Like if we're spending $150 to come out,
you should have an experience.
We should have an experience, and we should be going home with shit.
Yeah,
like legit.
absolutely.
Like that's what it is. That's what it is. And I realize like that feels like a lot, but it's true.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And that's, if I had any problems with some of the theaters around here, that's my biggest thing for why I don't frequent 90% of them is there's no consistency. I could go in one time, employees greet me, they're nice. Concession people are nice. It's all fresh. It tastes great. Timing's good. Before I can even, step outside because their kid's being loud next to me, someone already caught them because they did a theater check. I love that. But then I have other times where none of that happens, or that's not even a thing. And it's like you said, if I was paying that much for like my whole family to go, I'd be livid. And I just think that consistency is where a lot of theaters have stopped, because I think it's just not as magical as it was back when theaters first started. And I do get that. But for me as a moviegoer, every time I go to a theater, it's special to me. I still soak in everything. I still love the screen, hearing the audience and everything. So I don't know.
I get it. And I do too. But I got to be honest with you. I don't love going to see new stuff as much as I do going to see the older stuff.
I get that.
Because it feels like I love the movie clubs. I love the nostalgia of it. Like we have we have two main theaters here near us, like right near me. Like there's other theaters around, but we have an AMC down by the mall. It's cool when you want to go pick up like the Ghost Trap, I got and stuff. And but the Alamo, like they really do it up. They do great work. They have clubs, they have events going on all the time, film festivals happening all the time. Really do a great job. The owners there are wonderful. So for me, I'm like, I don't mind going to spend the money there. I'm getting a meal, I'm watching a movie, and it's an event.
Right.
But like, why do I want to go to AMC?
Right.
What are you selling me on it? Like, okay, cool. I got the Ghost Trap, but I don't collect AMC stuff.
Right.
Cool. I went for Ghostbusters. Like, so for me, it's just kind of like this idea of like with the movie theaters, it got too big for so long. Like now, like it's not that I do feel like movie theaters should wine and dine you a little bit.
Right. Or they should make it, we're not sponsored by them, so I won't use the name, but I'll say recently, as a household, we all got a subscription to a theater that offers that, where you just pay that low, monthly rate, and you can see as many movies as you want, essentially for free, as long as they're in 2D and they're not in their like best theater, and then you just pay an upcharge. But I should have hopped on that train a while ago, because it was nice seeing 4 movies and being like, we didn't pay anything. So now with that, I think I'm surprised that hasn't set a standard to a lot of the other chains, to where they're like, oh, we need to do something to compete, because if you go to a theater more than twice a month, I would suggest to get that subscription, because you're going to save a lot.
But again, you got to remember, like, but even then, like, we got to stop thinking like us.
Right.
Like even the guys who are here talking to us in the comments, like Jason, and we have Smash here. So let's roll through real quick what they're saying. Jason says, I love movie theaters. He goes, it's my favorite thing to do, especially when I'm down. With you, I get it. Smash says, on the production company just to distribute the films for free to the theaters as marketing. They're never going to do that. Yeah, I'm getting one of those two. Which one was that? What are you getting?
I think he's talking about the subscription.
Oh, for the, was it Stubs?
Oh, it's Regal, but yeah.
Oh, the Regal one. I got the Stubs one. So
okay.
I don't care. Like we can do whatever. I can say whatever. I don't give a shit.
I just didn't want to. I don't know. I don't know.
I use it.
We and we're gonna start.
Don't sign up for Stubs or Regal. Sign up for the Patreon. We got great entertainment.
We'll narrow down the movies you need to see in theater. So
there you go.
We'll save you even more money.
Get it. So yeah, like. So for me, going to the movies, I love it. It's always been a great source of joy. It's sort of losing its luster just based on the movies, the new movies. Like it's not even the theaters, it's the movies.
Right.
I guess that's why I like the Alamo and going and seeing the old stuff. The new movies just aren't doing it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, theater owners, if you're listening to me out there and you're getting pissed at what I'm saying, it's fucking studios. Sorry, they're not giving you shit that everyone want to go see.
Yeah, no,
So let's be real. Yeah. Let's be real. I'll go to. I've never had a problem going to theaters when I want to see shit.
Absolutely, yeah. Pay an arm and a leg every time it's something I want to see.
I went last week for Ghostbusters because it's Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go see that, and I'm going for Godzilla.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm literally not even going for Kong. I'm going for Godzilla. We're gonna get Kong too.
I guess it's a twofer.
I don't know. Oh, I'll go for the Fall Guy.
Oh yeah, Fall Guy.
I don't know because I'll go see Ryan Gosling. That's an actor I will go see. I like Ryan Gosling. There's not many actors I will go see but he's one. And I like the Fall Guy because I like the TV show when I was younger. He used to play at the bar that my dad drank at. We would like sit at the we wouldn't sit at the bar, sit at the table, but like, and it would play like it would be Magnum PI. What was Magnum PI? I think it was the Fall Guy then, man. I don't remember. It was a fucking beast, dude. I don't remember.
That's what's up. See, I didn't know it was the show.
Dude. It was Lee Majors. Hell yeah.
See, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. He was just a stunt guy that would go out and like do private investigations. And Keith David was his like Winston Duke plays like his best friend and like sort of like cohort.
Yeah.
And Keith David was that in the TV show. That was like his big break. So
I like that.
And then he got on. It like ended right around the time I think he got on what do you call it? The Thing.
Oh, okay.
So
good on him.
Jason's like all in. He's like where'd you go, boy? I know you're a patron. I appreciate you. And then I love the
Oh no, I'm sorry,
well,
Jason.
we'll get to that. I'm not we haven't even gotten to the main topic yet. I'm working through this right now. Okay. Can't wait to see King Kong. So many I want to go see, none that I want to go see. Should I watch Jackie Brown or just shake it
Jackie
up?
Brown.
Jackie Brown. Yeah. Shake it up. I don't think that's an underrated movie in Quentin Tarantino's arsenal. Not his strongest, but it's underrated.
It's great. I love that story.
Dude,
smuggling and airlines. Boom.
Dude, Pam Grier is so good. And everybody does a great job in that movie.
She's a powerful. She at least portrays a powerful woman. Like any role she has, where I'm like, damn.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so I'll go see Godzilla in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what the hell is this? Dracula meets the Wolfman, March 31st.
In a couple days.
I think it's a movie, but I think it's animated. I'll watch it. I don't think it's coming in theaters.
I'll watch it.
Monkey Man, I'm not going to see in theaters.
Oh, I'll see that.
I'll see it, but I'm not going to see it in theaters. I might go see Late Night with the Devil in theaters, only because I really want to go see that.
Got to see that, Mick.
Worth it. It's worth it. Like if it's that good of a film, I'll go see it.
Mick,
don't care
about reviews.
We're gonna review that. If I can see that this week, we're gonna review it next week. That's definitely on the thing. Godzilla King Kong is next week, so we're definitely seeing that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on Easter.
Sweet. Civil War, I'm not seeing.
I might.
I don't think I'm definitely gonna see The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, but I'm not gonna see it in theaters. Abigail, I'm not gonna see in theaters, but I'm definitely going to see it. Sasquatch Sunset, I have a funny story about that. I will see it, but I'm probably not going to theaters for it. So here's a funny thing. So the other day, right? So I watch a lot of YouTube because I'm always like either watching a podcast or something, or I'm listening to music, or watching some videos or something.
Right.
And Sasquatch Sunset, which is the new Bleecker Street movie that's coming out, is about a family of Sasquatches. It's Jesse Eisenberg's in it, a bunch of people. Yeah, so like it's supposed to be a satirical comedy about the life of Sasquatches that kind of mirror our life,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm not racing the theaters to go see that. I'll check it out when it comes out. In a stream.
Right.
But I have watched the beginning during ads in between videos on YouTube about 1.5 billion times since the goddamn trailer has come out 1 million times. And it always starts with the family walking in a fucking field, right?
Okay.
Right? Like that's I know you don't fucking know this, and I'm saying insensely fucking right, but that's not on you. But right, you fucker. Like, so, so I have seen this about 1 billion times. Every nice shirt, by the way. You want to get that one too? snobsmerch.com. So nipples included. No, I'm just kidding. That is not true. So, so I've watched it 1 million times, and every single time I'm like, cool.
Right.
So now I'm watching YouTube with my kid, watching a kid-friendly video.
Okay.
It pops up. I see the Bleecker Street. I'm like, oh, Sasquatch Sunset. I was like, hey, this is your family. I was like, this is a movie about family. And he goes, really? I was like, yeah. This is Sasquatches and we're tall. And he goes, really? He's 7, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a different video. This is a much different video.
Oh, no.
The Sasquatches are humping doggy style. And nice. I immediately like grab it and hit skip, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. 1 million times I watched that goddamn thing before they let you skip the video on YouTube. 1 million times on non-kid friendly videos.
Yeah.
And it's always that same damn friendly. Now I'm just pissed. Now I'm pissed. You know what? I'm not watching Sasquatch Sunset. I'm pissed. Because of it. I'm boycotting Sasquatch Sunset. Not really, but you know what I mean. God bless. Anyway,
did he notice, or was he just kind of oblivious to what
he was like? Why were those 2 monkeys wrestling? And I was like, I was like, damn it. I was so hoping he didn't catch it, because they do it in a way where like they're all the way in the back and there's like a bunch of trees in the foreground, and I'm like, I was like, I caught it real quick. I was like so hoping he didn't catch it, and he was like, why were they wrestling? I'm like, God damn it. I'm bitched. Why did this happen? Yeah, so the next movie I can definitely say I'll see in theaters is The Fall Guy.
Okay. Hey, at least when you need even sex talk, you could just show them that whole movie and be like, this is the scene. There you go.
This is the scene.
Learn everything.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to see much. You know, we're going to move on to the next topic, but really, other than Furiosa and maybe Inside Out 2, I don't see anything else I'm probably going to see this summer Deadpool. I'll see Deadpool in theaters. Yeah, for sure.
I thought there was a Nicolas Cage one coming out, because I thought I saw a trailer for that when I saw Immaculate.
Oh, Long Legs. I don't know if I'll see that. Yeah, maybe I will if Alamo's playing it. Which they probably will, because they're very good about Nick Cage. Oh, Twisters. I'll see in theaters.
Oh, I'll give that a chance. Better not fuck it up. Better not fuck it up.
How do you fuck up Twisters? How do you
fuck up Ghostbusters? Like,
easily. You can fuck up Ghostbusters easily.
Yeah.
How do you fuck up Twisters? How? Tell me how you.
I hope I don't have to find out. I don't know.
You know what?
Sharks.
Here's the funny thing. I'm probably not going to go see Beetlejuice 2 in theaters.
I'll give it a chance, but I like Ortega, so
I do too. But I'm probably just not going to go see it. I've not been overly blown away by Tim Burton in recent years.
That is fair. I do.
Listen. I have not seen a Tim Burton film that I was happy about seeing in theaters since Big Fish.
I was about to say the same thing. Right there with you. 100%.
So let's get to the main topic before Tim Burton, a man who I do respect and I love his visual style, but the stories just haven't been there for me, personally. So, all right, let's get to our final topic before we get to our reviews, and that is: can a movie fall out of being a cult classic or a classic? Now, before we get started, I want to read off the definition of cult classic, which is something typically a movie or book that is popular or fashionable among a particular group or section of society. Now we're of course talking about movies in this one, and then I'm also talking about classic films, which is a classic film has passed the test of time. If the movie was memorable in a good way, it could be considered a classic. Movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark or Jurassic Park. If movies are memorable in a different way, maybe for being more infamous or controversial, they can also be considered classic in that sense, a classic film in that sense. Now, those are the parameters of sort of where we're going with this, to give people sort of some idea of like what cult classics are, like the movie Freaks or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Clerks, Clockwork Orange, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Blade Runner, Fight Club. So I'm saying a lot of these movies. Now, a lot of people might agree or disagree with me on those being cult classics. Here's the funny thing. Would you argue, Paul, with any of those I mentioned being cult classics?
No, not at all.
Probably.
Especially even by definition. I couldn't argue with that.
Some would argue that they should be considered classic films today because they are, by today's standards, considered very popular films. And that's where my question comes in. Can we fall out in or out of things? Because something like Clerks, right? When we were younger, that was 1,000% a cult classic. And it is now taught in film schools everywhere.
Right.
You know, so like when does it cross over to classic?
I think that's when, by definition, kind of like you said, it just passes the test of time. So I think for X amount of years, I don't, we'll say 10 years, right? 10 years, it's just a cult classic. Past that, and once, I guess as a society, we agree it's one you should watch, like a staple as far as a comedy, horror, drama, whatever it is. I think that's when you can fold it over to a classic.
Sort of like when it becomes bigger than the cult itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Which, we can definitely say we're like Clerks. Like, if you ask someone about Clerks in the early 2000s, some of your friends might know, but most people would be like, I don't know what the fuck are you talking about? I don't watch that. Yeah. But now I bet I could walk around almost anywhere and be like, did you see Clerks? Yeah, I saw Clerks.
It's strange to me too to see how many like cult classics you can see are now more considered classic films, and you can judge it mostly by the merchandising.
Right. Yeah.
Keep in mind, like a lot of the stuff we see today didn't have merchandise back then.
Right. Yeah.
Like there were no Clerks shirts back then.
Right.
like you can buy this stuff anywhere now, and that's what I love about it. Like it's like, and I appreciate that about pop culture, and especially in films, and I think books do that too. And I don't want to dive too hard into books, but I think they often set that precedent. But like with films, I love the idea that even classic films, 20 years ago, Schindler's List,
still true.
Is it
to an extent? I do, if we're bringing that subject up, I talked about it, went over in my head a few times. I do think there are movies that have been considered classic that absolutely are not, just because of the climate of society present day. They just, people don't give them the rights. For instance, we'll say like Blazing Saddles. Okay. I consider that a classic. It's a classic. It's Mel Brooks. I think it's, whatever. All that to be said, I couldn't see like a film club in high school talking about it highly. I don't think that's one people are, you got to see anymore or anything like that, just because of the climate and the jokes just being over the top. So things of that nature, I do think classics they can fall out. Like Gone with the Wind, I feel like that's kind of gone out the door a little bit, to where people are like, whatever. Like, I don't think that holds up.
That's like, I say the Schindler's List and like Gone with the Wind, like to me, the ones that stand the true test of time, like Wizard of Oz is one that I feel like will always stand the true test of time.
Always.
I feel like that will always, like, people will always hold true to that. And time will tell, that may not hold true, but like, you're right. Like, there are things that do. And like like Gone with the Wind, to me, I think is a cinematic masterpiece. Right. Like, I think that is a brilliantly written film, shot film, acted film. Everything about it is wonderful. It is perfect, and I understand why it is as successful as it is, but I do understand why it is not as revered going forward. And I do love that idea of like, and to Jason's point, like he keeps jumping on me. So I think he wrote here, yes, they remain a cult classic because it was the cult that turned them into the classics. That's not actually true. Like, no, classic films and cult classics are two different things. So like, the cult classics are just thrown in there, but like the cult is what makes that its thing, its popularity.
Right.
And then the classic film that it has withstood all of this time. Yeah, like we said, but so the cult doesn't turn them into the classics. The cult is just what kept the word about them alive for so long. Like kept them legendary, if anything. I would say more than classic. But
kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show to me. That's always just going to be a cult classic. I don't think it ever is going to move up to what I what the definition of a classic film is. I think it's always going to remain a certain group of people absolutely love it, like over the top. Like I enjoy it. Like it was fun. It was fun, the theater experience, but that's never, like for me, that's never going to be a classic, even though it's as old as it is now.
I think it shrunk down in popularity, in my opinion, just from what you used to hear about it versus how you hear about it now. And saying that you think they could be both, like I disagree, because I think the cult classic keeps the movies that don't get the chance to become classics, though it keeps them alive. Now, one of the things that I love about the idea of cult classics ultimately becoming classics is time. It's like as times change, what sparks, what gets remembered, I love that idea. Like, goddamn, Shawshank Redemption was a classic for so long, and I love Shawshank. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great movie, but I don't think it's as revered as it once was.
No, I think it's because things change and attention spans grow less, and you need more. And I feel like all together we've progressed in how we write a good script and all this, that, and other. So I think in a good way, we expect more, because the ones that do shine a little brighter than the ones that shined 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So
yeah. So let me ask you this. Breakfast Club.
I'd say cult classic.
But that was always a classic.
See, they might say it's a classic. I'd consider it a cult classic, because like if I texted 10 of my friends right now, I'd probably say at least maybe half have seen it. If it's a classic, I'd like to say 9 out of 10 have at least seen it.
So there's my point. So like if I went back even just about 10 years, right? My age compared to you, everyone saw that.
Right.
Everyone. And we're not even the generation it was for.
Right.
So like, and everyone before that, like, and like the generation even before that, who was like just in their 20s, like that's what it was like, So the idea that a movie that was as monumental to like 3 generations, right? And I'm talking and partnered up with a guy who's like, this movie doesn't mean anything to me. It's a cult classic. It just shows like how quickly a movie like can move out of something to a point where it's like, I mean, do we care? Right. Like to you, Back to the Future, like, and do not hold me to it. Is that a classic or is that a cult classic?
That's a classic.
Okay. All right. See, that's where's the divide. See, because like to me, growing up, The Breakfast Club was always talked about more than Back to the Future.
Okay. I don't know. I just feel like
how weird that is.
But I don't, it's just like, and it might have to do with the ratings and everything, but like I said, like that's a movie I could name I'd probably say anyone 7 or 8 years old up, and they've seen that movie. They know the DeLorean. They know the sound it makes when it turns on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's a classic. Like everybody knows, even people that don't like movies, they've at least seen that. You know what I mean? So for my definition of classic, that's where I kind of draw some of the line, is if it's something 9 out of 10 people will get every time, it's a classic.
Dude, it is. And I think that's the thing. I think the spectacles and the epics are what always really stand the test. Or all right, let me take it back a little bit. Well, no, because I think spectacle doesn't have to mean grandiose. To me, Clerks is a spectacle in filmmaking because it's different. It's odd. It's unique. It's something different that filmmaking's never done before.
Right.
So to me, that's a spectacle in filmmaking,
Okay. Yeah.
That's why everyone in Quentin Tarantino's movies, they're a spectacle, because it's no other filmmakers making movies like this.
Yeah.
Same with, was it Denis Villeneuve? Like no one of filmmakers making movies that look like that. Shit like that, like stuff like that, like that's what sticks out. The Chris Nolans, like, so that's where you get your classic films, right?
Right.
Your cult classics are the ones that really stick out. They're the punk rock,
right?
Everything in between is what Paul and Jason clearly love.
Fuck you. No. But I will say, if you had asked me maybe 3 years ago how I felt about Breakfast Club, it might have been different before Euphoria came out, because having people in my life that I considered like younger siblings that were in high school at the time, and hearing all the crazy shit they went through, Euphoria was relevant for the time. Just like Breakfast Club was probably more relevant for you in school than it was for me. Euphoria, I'm like this is like, I know it's worse in high school right now, and all these things are thrown at you too. I'm like, well, fuck, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess even like 10 years after I was in high school was very different world. Like the world wasn't the same. Like it wasn't the dynamic power struggle wasn't the same. Geeks weren't the same. Like, you had superhero movies. You had like things were really alive then, with the geek world and stuff. Like we used to have to hide. Asses kicked. Like, and there was zero tolerance. Like you couldn't like beat people. Like not saying that people would get beat up or fought, there weren't fights and stuff. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, we had fights in the hallways sometimes, that shit happened. Like, and I'm not saying one way or the other. It is what it is. But so like I do get the Breakfast Club. Like it was before my time, but like I do get that. I will say, if I have to really think about it, what's a high school movie that I really, I'll save that for next week. Let's talk about high school movies that really stand out for us.
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about that.
You're gonna hate me. I'll be the producer this week, last week only. So you guys enjoy me this week because next week he's gonna fire.
Why?
You're gonna hate my movie list.
No, I'm interested. I'm actually interested because I want to see the dynamic of the difference. I don't care about differences. If you say the same thing as me, it's a boring ass podcast. Oh, Jason, what are you saying? Can I come on next week? No. Anyway, we're gonna start. So anyway, we are we're reviewing Ghostbusters and Roadhouse. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire and Roadhouse, the remake, on Prime now. Go check those out. So we're going to start with Ghostbusters. That's right. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire tells the tale of the Spangler family now in New York, living in the firehouse and busting ghosts because it makes them feel good. They're running all around town in Ecto-1 with their proton packs, causing them havoc, running amok everywhere. And it's just chaos, dogs and cats living together. And, that's about what this is. We'll get into it a little bit more. This is going to be a bit of both of these are going to be a bit of a spoiler-ish review. So if you guys do want to check out on this, we get it. Come back at another time, check it out. We're not going to like really try and reveal too much or anything like that, but we do want to get into these a little bit because one I really didn't love and one I really did. So and we'll get to Paul's. So we'll get to Paul's. And I have a lot to say on all of it. So
oh joy.
All right. Let's get started. So Paul, tell me what you thought of Ghostbusters Frozen.
So after the last Ghostbusters, I was extremely excited to hear there was going to be, a sequel to the newer line they were doing. This one fell extremely short for me, unfortunately. I thought it was the coolest part, I guess, was bringing back the original actors that are still alive. The story, they didn't explain enough, so the story just seemed kind of forced to me. The comedy did not land. I think there was one time Paul Rudd said something and it made me chuckle. I didn't think there was enough action scenes. I mean, they open up the whole portal with all the ghosts they've ever caught, and all you see is a fucking tornado above them, flashing color. I needed what happened in New York, in the original ones. Like, you need to see the monsters causing chaos and having fun, and you didn't show any of that shit. It was a disappointment, honestly. I was very sad because they did the last one so right, and it just seemed like they almost didn't care. They just wanted to get another cash grab because Ghostbusters is relevant again, and I think they let us all down as fans of Ghostbusters.
I feel a little bit differently than you do, but you feel passionate, and I respect that passion. I want to validate your passion on that, because I understand it, and I understand why you're upset, because I am too. I'm upset for the same reasons, but different.
Okay.
In a weird way. Because you're right, because I feel like it was sort of a cash grab. The last one felt very heartfelt. It felt like Jason was stepping up, wanted to do it, connect, and like sort of a connection to the franchise that his dad started. They did it for Harold, then with his father passing away. It just felt like like a really beautiful love letter to everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't need the firehouse any more than they gave me in that one. I didn't need anything more than everything they gave me. I loved everything about that.
Mhm.
I thought it was beautifully done. Just truly fantastic. And a great follow-up. I didn't mind that they used Shandor and Gozer and all of them, and just like kind of tied that all together.
Right.
Bringing this back, I didn't mind that they were going to open it back up.
Mhm.
I didn't mind that they were starting like sort of a ghost core, like an engineering, ghost engineering group, to kind of, because that makes sense.
Right.
You're the Ghostbusters. Why wouldn't you start something where you were actually really researching this stuff? You're all scientists. Like, first of all, like it did kind of annoy me that, it did kind of annoy me that Winston didn't bring the two scientists on with him. He called Peter in later to help him with one certain thing. He had the little. I don't want to call her a little girl. Like, I guess she was like 18 or 19 by this point, but I'm thinking of her as like a child in the first one. Sorry. So like in Afterlife. So like when I say little girl, I mean little girl from the last one. But she is like an adult now. So from the young woman and that's like who's interning in this. And I guess he's a scientist, but he looks like he's 23.
Yeah, if that.
If
At
that,
best.
and they're the only two that work there besides a botanist who was there for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So like it was just like sort of all over the place. Like I feel like the Ghostbusters would have scientists that are chomping at the bit to study ghosts.
Right.
But anyway, whatever. Like I don't want to get too deep into it. So like I feel like this could have been done really well. It just wasn't. Like I feel like it was like done cartoonishly, which I was fine with, but then it was like taking it in a serious way in other ways, and then like it was just what it felt like to me was Thor Love and Thunder.
Yes. Yeah.
I loved Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was the right amount of like serious and silly. And then you get to Thor Love and Thunder and then it's like too much silly.
Yes.
Not enough of anything else. To me, this was too much over the top. Not silliness, just too much over the top. You went way too much over the top with every scene, trying to tell everyone's tale, trying to go into everything. You have a cool lore. You're building something new. I dug the stop motion and the practical effects of the villain. I liked the look. I thought it was very cool. I liked the lore you were building. I was in for a lot of it. So it just bugged me that you got to a point where like everything was over the top. You were right. You didn't broaden it to New York like they did in the first one. And there's so much more money behind it. Like, and you can't you're not going to visit like the corpse driving the cab at least. Like you're not going to like Slimer's not going to be in another freaking hot dog vendor. Like, like, whatever. Like,
you saw a spirit fly by the Statue of Liberty, and I was like, I swear to God, if this fucking thing doesn't possess Statue of Liberty again, like I'm done. And then it didn't. And I was like, I'm fucking done. Like,
and it
right
just,
next.
And I didn't mind. Like, I didn't need more of the Ghostbusters. I liked as much of well, maybe there's just too much of them in this one. Like, I think maybe as much as there was in Afterlife was fine by me.
Yeah.
Focus on the family more. I didn't need the ghosts girl.
No,
I didn't need that whole thing with Phoebe. She's too smart for that. Like she should have had this whole thing wrapped up, no problem. Like she was the smartest one figuring everything out in Afterlife, and you made her sort of dumb in this. And
I say this not in a negative way, everybody, but I thought we were going to go kind of a woke way where Phoebe was just going to end up being into females, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I thought that's what we were hinting at the whole time. And then it was like, oh, well, you built this really weird to not have it go that way, but okay.
Yeah. And who cares? Like, I mean, even if that's what you were going, like her finding her identity or whatever, but like, fine. But like, even the way you're going over the top with everything, like it's just too much. Like you didn't even focus on Phoebe enough.
No.
Like her story was fine. Like that's a story I'm fine to follow, but you didn't focus on her. like it was just, it was too much. So our ratings for this, I think we're both the same on it. We gave it a 2.5, and I think I'm going to tell you I gave it that half because of Ghostbusters.
Same.
And to disagree with you, Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon saved this for me because every one of their interactions was really fun. They were really fun together. I liked them. Finn Wolfhard was a complete and utter buzzkill in this. I did not like him in this. I thought
Stranger Kids.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
I don't blame him for that.
Mm-hmm.
They did not know how to use him in this.
No.
I mean, granted, they didn't know how to use him greatly in the first one, but they used him a lot better.
Yeah.
This one, it was just kind of like, fuck. Like, ugh.
Well, even the scenes they gave him, they made it seem like they were like, oh, fuck, we haven't used him yet. Let's do a scene with him doing this. And here's him doing this, I guess. It was like, oh, fuck.
I would have preferred just a movie with the Spanglers because I will tell you honestly, the idea of them as a family unit and whenever they did that was more fun as a dynamic than anything else. I had fun with that. That was a good time. Everything else, I was like, I don't care. So whatever. Let's move on to a movie I actually liked.
Hey, it's good. You were going to scare me because I was like, oh shit, did I like Roadhouse and you hated it?
No, actually, Roadhouse. So I'm a big fan of the original Roadhouse because of exactly for what it is.
Yeah.
This movie is not that.
No, this one was different than the original. Yes.
No. So many people don't understand this movie, and I fucking love it. Everybody thinks this movie is exactly what the original was, but just with more of a woke message, and it's not. And I love it. Doug Liman is a goddamn genius, and I love what this movie is, and it just drives me nuts. So many people are like, it's this, and it's just like, watch the movie. I've watched this movie 3 times now.
Okay.
It came out last Thursday, and I watched it 3 times because I'm getting my notes together for this review.
Oh God.
So go ahead, sir. I want to hear what you think.
I enjoyed everything about the movie except for the CGI, which was absolute trash. It looked like someone did it on a Windows 98 computer. The CGI was just garbage. And I feel like we could have just gone without some of those scenes because it was really fucking bad. Everything else I enjoyed. I mean, yeah, those scenes were rough, Mick.
Which CGI?
The car flying, spoilers. The boat
going
the car
through, driving at him real fast. No, in fact, no spoilers. I'm telling people that straight out there because that deserved like a trigger warning because that does like they do. It's I don't think it's CGI. I feel like they ramped up. It is CGI. You're right, but it isn't actually a motion. It is a real motion. So just so everybody knows, there is like a sort of a trigger trauma effect. The car does come too close to the camera. It does drive too fast at the camera. It can trigger people. So I do want to, that's a spoiler I am going to point out to people because there are people who are talking about this triggering though.
Okay.
And from car accidents, things like that, because it does hit the camera. So and my wife brought that up because it like hit her too. And then I was seeing on TikTok and stuff other people talking about. I was like, yeah, there should be like a trigger warning effect for this because that is a pretty heavy effect.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I didn't that portion of it did not care for. Everything else was great. If they had added anything to it, I would have loved to see them bring in a new, if not the original, just bring Sam Elliott back. That's the only thing that I was, because I loved Sam Elliott in the first one. It's just me enjoying the first one. I was like, it would have been cool to have him, call someone, be like, shit's going down. Then the awesome old man, Sam Elliott, comes out and just helps him out. Like, I just thought that it just would have been cool. Just because I loved it in the first one.
The whole point of this movie. See, you didn't get it. You get it. And I'm not picking on you for that. This whole point of this movie is to break down, it's destroying the original, which is a love letter to the American Western.
Okay.
This whole point of this movie is to say that none of the characters that are at play that use violence work in today's society. That's the whole point of this movie. Dalton doesn't work in today's society. He's trying his best to work in today's society. He still doesn't. He's suffering because he's not the same Dalton as he in 1989, who's wearing flashy clothes and he's playing it cool and he's just being nice. Just being nice. You just got to be no. He tries to kill himself in the beginning of this movie.
Right.
So like he's a guy who's just ready to go at any moment, but he doesn't want to hurt people. He is literally exactly contained. He is controlled chaos at the moment, and it is volatile at best. He is exactly the same as Knox, who is Conor McGregor.
Right. Who did beautiful, by the way. I love McGregor as a villain. He's a fucking awesome villain.
Amazing villain in this. But like, that's the thing. Like, Dalton is famous, right? Dalton is famous for being a monster. Nobody knows who the hell Knox is. Everyone's always walking up to Knox. Who the hell are you? What do you want? Like, who are you? Like, the one guy who like loudly announces, he pronounces everything, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he acts, everything. He crashes into things when he wants to stop cars.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. And like,
he stole the driver's ed car.
The whole thing. No, like, but even when he drove the Lamborghini, he crashed it into their bikes.
100%.
You know, then he crashed he crashes the boat, and then he crashes the truck. You know, like he just crashes shit until that's how he stops things. You know, like he's just pure chaos. Yeah, and that's why I love this face when you get to the end and Dalton turns into the raging monster that he is, and and Knox sees him for what he is, and it's just the horrified look on his face. You know, just like, oh my God, like, I'm not the same as you. Right. You're so much worse than I am. Right. You know, like, I love that. But like, even Frankie and Brandt, like, they're two keys. Like, everybody who's using violence, every single person who uses violence as a means to get what they want in this, nothing is working. None of them are working. Everybody, like, nobody works in the society. No, the community cannot accept any of them. And I love that message of this whole thing. Stop saying you just said that you didn't get that part.
I just took it as a movie. I don't know.
It was I thought it was fantastic. I love that message of it. Like, and I love the visual style of it. Like, I love that but once you get that as the theme and you get the idea of why they don't play up the real estate deal, because it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter why Frankie wants him there. Like, she's just trying to hold out longer than Brandt. She has no idea why Brandt wants to stop. So she's just looking for the toughest fucking guy to stop them, because that's all she knows. Everyone is just trying to use violence to stop everything. You know, like that's it. Everyone is just trying to use violence except for Dalton until he's pushed. And once he pushes it, he ends it all.
Yeah. Wraps it all up.
And then he can't be a part of the community. That's it. You're gone. You got to leave. So like, it's the American Western. And that's why she says to him, you may not be the hero, but you're also not the villain. You have no place here. None of you. You're not the heroes. You're not the villains. You have no place here. We don't want you here. You can't be a part of our community. That's today's society. Sorry, politicians who act this way. Sorry, people who act this way. Sorry, people who shoot now and, ask questions later. Like, none of you work with us anymore. This doesn't work in a technology age. This doesn't work in our world in a social media age. This doesn't work in a knowledge age. So that's what they're basically saying with Roadhouse now, is like, your ways don't work anymore. Your violence doesn't work anymore. And the one guy who's trying to stop it has a ton of problems. All of these violent people had mental health issues. So like, it was a cool message to see. Now, on top of that, we could both talk to this. Like, I think that adds the flavor to why we got everything we got in terms of like the awesome in-your-face fighting. Yeah. I love the camera work to it. I thought like when they would switch to like the GoPros, and you would see that in your face fighting. Like, I thought that really added that intense feel of like like being in the octagon. Because then it would cut to like the chicken wire. Yeah, seeing through there, and it's like it just they did a really good job playing this out. It's a really well told, simple story too.
Yes, it was. I'm just thinking of all the scenes now that I enjoyed. Just thinking of that dude just playing in the band, just kept playing the whole fucking time. The whole
time he's just shaking the things. The whole time. The whole fight. What are some of your favorite scenes in the movie? Go before we wrap this up.
Oh, I'd probably say the last fight with Dalton and Knox. I enjoyed Knox opener when you see him in that town. I think that sets the tone for who he is at the beginning. What's another good one? I kind of liked how you saw where Jake Gyllenhaal's mentality was when he gets stabbed in the beginning.
Yeah, he's like, "You want your knife back?"
Yeah. He's like, "Oh shit," and just
dude.
Oh shit.
But that, it just goes to show you like the pain is gone now. Like it's just like he's so far beyond it all. But like dude, Knox, first of all, my favorite character. Dude, when he rolls in and he go and the big dude, who's the big henchman who's part of it, and he's just like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" And he goes, "Shh." He just shushes him and then eats their sandwiches. Yeah. Oh my god! And he's like, first
off his plate.
Off his plate, he's like, first off, I'm gonna need more than 3 sandwiches. He killed it in this role. He did a great job. And Jake Gyllenhaal, everybody did just a fantastic job in this role. I like Billy Magnuson as Brandon too. He did a great job. But the one-liners, the puns, when he gets in that boat and he's like, my favorite is when he's like, "We gotta own the octagon. Who taught you shapes?" And he just knocks him off the boat. But there's one my wife pointed out when he's banging his head on the piano, and he's just like, "This piano's really out of tune," and he goes, "Sounds good to me." It's so out of place. It doesn't work. So
I mean, sometimes you say silly shit when you're really angry and hyped up. I don't know.
Just they're getting along really well in that one. But people are gonna get annoyed with my rating for this, but I really dug the layers of this one. And there's no plot holes. It's contained. They do a great job with it. 4 out of 5.
I don't think that's bad.
And you gave it a 3 out of 5. I don't think that's bad either. Just good ratings. I think this movie deserves it.
Yeah, I'd recommend watching it. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, great movie. I listen, if you are asking me which one I think you should go see, Roadhouse. Anyway, mixed movie pick from 1996. That's right. I'm going with 1996's Citizen Ruth. Very good film starring Laura Dern. Laura Dern in the movie plays Ruth, who is a very much she's a terrible person at the beginning of the movie. Like she's a terrible mother to her kids. She's a drug addict. She's dealing with a lot of demons. But like she's very selfish in her ways and how she deals with things, and she does. She acts in a very terrible manner towards her family and people that care about her. And then she gets pregnant, and through her pregnancy, a lot of turmoil and media attention comes into play. And a lot of this deals with the debate over abortion, pro-choice, pro-life, and it also gives people a lot to think about in terms of women's rights to choose over their body, what abortion looks like from the view of a woman, what just the idea of what family looks like in America today and things like that. There's a lot of themes in here. It's a very good movie. It is a comedy, but there's a lot of good questions and ideas that I think people should check out. I think it's a good movie for that. So this is my recommendation for this week. I think you guys should go check that out. That's mine for this week's episode. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining in for all the topics, hanging out. I think 3 was too many. Maybe next week I'll go with 2. But I do want to thank this week's sponsor, Shopify. Thank you guys so much. You guys are an awesome sponsor. We have some new sponsors joining up next week too, and we'll get to those, but the link is down below. You get a free trial and your first month for $1. Start your online business from beginning to end. They will help you set it all up and get you going. So start your online e-commerce business, and they will help you do it all the way. Shopify is an awesome business for that. Go check them out now. That's right. And guys, we have our Patreon available. Tons of stuff available, perks available. And if you join up, we also have time available. So if you're looking for maybe filmmaking advice, maybe social media marketing, SEO work, podcasting, any type of work, like you want to sit down with me, I have consulting hours that I offer through Patreon. Consulting time, and depending on the tier, you can sit down with me once a month, and we'll sit down and you can ask me any questions you want. I'll show you how to do things, whatever. We'll do it over in video, Skype and stuff like that. So, guys, that's available. Go check it out and join up on our Patreon. I want to thank you guys for being a part of it. Paul, thank you so much for joining in and being a part of this tonight. You are the man. Of course, buddy. And thank you all for joining in. You guys are all great and appreciate you. Go get your tickets for CFF. It's coming up. Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be a great time. Get your tickets. And until next time, I'm Mick Manhattan. Producer Paul, you want to say anything before we take off?
Yeah, you guys have a great week and make sure to travel safe with Easter coming up if you celebrate Easter. And if not, enjoy the chocolate and forget what I just said before that.
Perfect. I love it. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter, everybody. Have a great weekend. And until next time, be kind to each other. Stay classy. Take care of yourselves because that's important. Bye.